G'day, it's Jason here from In Search of Australia. In this episode, I'm going to try a post-hole digger to test for sapphire areas at Sapphire Bend. I'm standing here with some boulders, which looks like they're part of the ancient river, so I'm going to try and test around those. Hopefully I won't hit a boulder and see, does this help me find the spots to dig, rather than shovel dogging. Let's see how we go. So my theory is that I can use this post-hole digger to at least sample where I'm going instead of having to dig massive amount of material. So I'm going to check right here next to one of the boulders. Hopefully it's not too hard work and hopefully I don't hit a boulder. So this type of post-hole digger is a drill type. I can already feel some rocks getting in the way. What I'm hoping is this is a little more efficient, just to find the right spot. What I do like about this is it's got a bit of a depth marker, so it says 60 centimetres there. Generally at Sapphire Bend, it's about 1 metre down. Now I'm getting into some crunchy things. Try pulling it up first. Hopefully that dislodged it. Yep. And obviously what we're looking for is that gravelly grey clay. Got a ride on it. I won't say it's absolutely easy, but I do feel there's a lot less effort. Hoping that grinding sound's a good sign. So, hit the grey clay, but there's no gravel in it. Really have to put weight on it now. I guess the only way to really work this out is to test this. So my rationale was the fact that when you look here, it seems to slope uphill there and definitely up there, and this looks like it's a river, or can be a river. You can see a bit of moss and things left from when it actually had water. I also looked at these boulders and thought, had they been pushed a long time ago rather than recently? It's a really good question. These things can be moved around by forestry, so I'm taking a punt. So even though there's grey clay, there seems to be more silty stuff than actual gravel. So here at Sapphire Bend, what you want is the grey clay with ironstone and little round river rocks and quartz in it. When I feel all this and break it up, it's all soft. Same thing happened here. So when I break all that grey clay up, it's just all very soft. So it could be a case that along here is the deepest part and nothing's actually being caught there. Because if you look up in here, there's lots of holes where people have been digging. So I'll have to change where I'm at. And don't forget, fill in your holes. Even these size. So to further test my theory, I'm just off the edge of some diggings. I'm assuming people got sapphires here because it's quite a big hole. I'm just going to see how it works sampling with this. I have to use my whole weight. It's quite hard. And one of the catches here is it's quite dry at this point, and this isn't clumping together as I pull it up, so it's falling back into the hole. Sort of the opposite problem for wet holes with a shovel. Much harder going. I'm not getting very far each time. Large rocks definitely make it difficult. It's definitely getting more gravelly. I probably should be putting this into a bucket at this point, but it's more an experiment. Doing that testing has made me a bit curious because when I pulled up a lot of that brownish clay, the river stones looked exactly the same as you'd get in the grey clay. So what I'm going to do is dig out some of the grey clay, put it in one bucket, use some of that brown gravel, and just see whether there's actually sapphires in those areas, because we could be missing things all the time by not sifting it. Now sadly the hole here has gone straight into the roots of this tree. Just so you know, you're supposed to be 2 meters away from any tree. This is going right up underneath it. Then over here, it's another tree. If they were going to do the right thing, they would have just kept going that way, straight between. Which is where I'm going to go. Back to shovel dogging. Just checking it's actually got the gravel. Yep. So to do the test, this bucket here is what I'd call the brown soil or brown gravel, and this bucket here is the grey gravel. So it'll be interesting to see what we get. I'm going to try the brown gravel first. I'm not bothering with a pan because this is from Sapphire Ben, and I have to say you get about 1 speck of gold per 3 buckets, so sort of pointless. Well, what do you know? Some nice size zircon there, and the sapphire. This is from the brown gravel. So as you can see here, 1 sapphire, 1 zircon.
Fell out into the grass.
And 1 terrible shot. There it is. There we go. Okay, this time it's the more traditional grey gravel. Putting on gloves because it's a little harder on the hands. I'm assuming I'll get more in terms of concentrate, but I was actually surprised how well the brown gravel went. Now we know a sapphire is here because I saw it earlier. I think my sieve technique was a little off. It's sitting over here. It's like a little shard. But I'll check for the rest. So the difference wasn't really obvious. The only thing was I got a few more zircon in the grey clay. But the sapphire over to the right was from the brown gravel, and the 2 sapphires, it looks like a little tiny dog's tooth or shard there, and then the larger one were from the grey clay. The zircon, 2 of those were from the brown gravel and 1 was from the grey clay. Well, the post hole digging tool, I'd say, was sort of successful. It at least showed me the depths at which the gravel started without me having to dig such a large area. Much easier to clean up afterwards. The brown gravel was a surprise. So the fact that if you find the little ironstone and river rocks that you'd expect to see in the grey clay in the brown gravel has sapphires, that actually goes against what you're usually advised to do at Sapphire Bend. So my advice now is, if you see any of that ironstone, the rounded little pebbles, sift it, check it. You might have sapphires. I hope you enjoyed.